Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria. I'm so happy you chose to stop by today. If this happens to be your first time visiting, welcome to Siempre Infinitos DIY. Today I get to share with you how I made this adorable rabbit. So with all of that being said, let's begin. So here I have two smooth foam balls and I'm going to be cutting one in half. Now I'm going to be tracing out a piece of foam sheet, and that is actually a adhesive foam sheet. And then I'm just going to place it in here. This is just so I don't have to worry about wandering eyes seeing at the bottom. This is optional. So I just went ahead and trace it out and then trim it down. Once I get the both clays that I'm going to be using, which is mint green and light pink, then I am going to knead it well. I want to make sure that once I start rolling it out, I don't hear or see any bubbles, but in this case you will see that I did roll it out and apparently I missed two bubbles, but that was okay because I just went ahead and popped them. But then as soon as I continue rolling, I didn't see any more or hear any more bubbles in there. So once I have my clay all rolled out, and then I am going to cover up my foam ball, and that is going to be the half of the foam ball. And then because as you can see, I did not added any glue, and that's because the clay was soft. And here I try to pull it apart so you can see that it's already sticky. So I just went ahead and covered it up. Again, it is optional if you choose to add glue to yours. I did not because, again, like I stated, it is too soft and it'll just hold on its own. So now I'm just going to go right ahead and just trim it down, and then I'm just going to lap the clay over. And this is why I went ahead and added that foam sheet so you won't see the white foam in there. And then of course, you want to just press it down as you can see what I'm doing there. And then of course, once it dries up, don't worry about all of those wrinkles because they will eventually disappear. Just try not to handle it too much so you won't add any extra deep dents in there and what have you. So this is going to be the arms slash shoulders. And then what I have learned in the past when I do this is that I try not to bend those where the elbows slash arms are at, because otherwise later when it dries up you will see dents, or if not lines, or it can crack. So I try to be very careful when it comes to doing something like this. And then on the bottom, obviously I just went ahead and press it down. And the reason I'm adding holes at the end of each arm, and that's because when I place his paws in there, I can go ahead and push them in there and there won't be such of a big gap if it were to dry up or what have you. I want to take a minute to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And as well, I would love to give thanks to everyone who's been following me from the beginning. Thank you so much for continuing to support my channel and for always leaving me lovely comments, for liking my videos and for sharing them. Thank you so very much. From the bottom of my heart, I thank every single one of you. If it wasn't for you, I would not be here today. So with all of that being said, let's get back to the video. Now I'm going to be adding a collar to his jacket. So I'm just going to roll out a big long warm shape, and then I am going to add it. This is the time where I will be advising to add some glue to where the both of the ends connect, because once the clay dries up, you know that usually they tend to shrink a little bit and then they'll pull away. So this is the time that I would say yes, do add some glue. Obviously I did not because for video purposes, but you just want to make sure that you add glue when you connect two pieces of clay together, especially when you're doing it this way. If you're laying one on top of the other, that is fine, you really don't need to. But when they're this type of where they're not actually lapping one on top of the other and they're just touching, you do want to add glue. So here I am doing his paws and pretty much just trying to make almost a tear shape, as you can see. And then I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and then just do 4 snips, if not 3, I think, and 3 or 4. You want to be careful whenever you're handling sharp objects because I would hate for you to cut yourself. These scissors are very sharp and very thin, so I actually almost cut myself. Thank God I did not. But yeah. So anyways, and then here, as you can see, that's what I'm doing. There's this where that tear shape type comes in, and which is why I made the holes at the end of each side of his arm. And that's because when I push that in, as you can see there, once it dries up, or if it were to dry up, which it will, there won't be a gap. I have done some in the past where I just place it there without doing that hole, and you can start seeing that after it just starts drying up, it starts pulling away a little bit, and I don't want that to happen here. So I just began to make little holes at the end and then just stick the hand in there. So I am going to be now showing you how I make the head. A lot of times what I like to do, I don't know why this time I didn't do it, but this time I actually went backwards. I made the body first before doing the head. And the reason is that I like to do the head first is because I like to give it more time to dry on me before I go in and add it to the body, and also add his eyes and nose or what have you, whatever, depending on what I am making. Now, again, video purposes, I went the opposite way here, and it's really easy. All I did here was just roll out my clay, lap it over, or rolled my ball with the clay. Wait, that makes no sense. I wrapped my ball with the clay, and then I just started snipping away any excess, and I just kept rolling. And then the more I try to go upwards where for the clay with the clay, and then just started snipping away whatever was extra clay there. As you can see, I think I probably did that about 4 different separate times, and then just rolling it back and forth, back and forth. And again, once it dries up, it will, all of those little marks, light marks, will disappear, so not to worry about that. And then here I rolled out 2 small balls. Make sure that they're the same size, and this is going to be part of his mouth slash nose. I have no idea what this part of the rabbit's face is called. Maybe it is his nose, I don't know. Anyways, so then just obviously this is his little nose. I just rolled it into a little ball and just place it on top. Now with his mouth, I just got some clay, rolled out a little warm, and then try to do a U shape that I place right underneath where, as you can see there. And this is how easy it was to make his face. Added a little tongue. Now I'm still debating if I want to add some teeth in there or not, which I'll probably wind up doing so later. And then this part as well, this is another reason why I like to leave the head alone and let it normally dry overnight, because when I go in to place it on top of the body, I don't have to worry about leaving marks there. You'll see, as you probably can see, my prints in there. And I didn't bother me so much on the top because obviously we're going to be adding a hat. But on the sides, I did notice that they were going in too deep, so I had to take it off and then roll it back and forth. And here, as you can see with my hands, just try to press it down, try to get rid of all of those handprints that I had just made there. So this is why I like, again, to do the head first, let it dry so I don't have to worry about that, when I'm placing it on top. And I use a skewer, so double secure that. You can add glue to it if you just want a more securance, to make sure that it's not going to fall off or what have you. And now I am making his hat. Now, the hat was very easy to do. This clay is soft, so I did have to let it sit out and on top of my desk with the fan running so it can dry it up, so it can be a little bit easier for me to work with. And then, of course, no glue because, again, the clay is soft. And I just went ahead and placed them together. Now, again, this 2 ends are not lapping one on top of the other. So when I connected them together, I wanted to make sure that they were pressed in. And this, you can place it so you won't see where they connect together. You can place it on the side because we are going to be adding his ears, and then the ears, being that they're long, they're going to cover where you'll see that 2 pieces of clay where the clays are connecting. And then I used a cookie cutter, and then cut the top of for the hat. Added that. I think I left the measurements there. If not, and I'll put them down, but I think it was 9 and a half, I think. But I'll make sure that I'll add the size of cookie cutter that I use. And here is the same cookie cutter, and this is what I use for his part of his top hat, or whatever these hats are called. It's not a top hat. It's like more like a soldier hat. I don't know if they have different names for them or not. But here, I just pressed it in, didn't again have to use no glue, because the clay is still soft. And I let that dry a little bit before I placed it on top of his head. And then I added a trim around it. And I mean, I'm already loving how this is coming out. It's coming out really cute. I was scared because I had no idea how I was going to make him. And the more that I start building him, he started looking exactly like I visioned in my mind. So his ears are very simple. Made sure both of them are the same length. And then I just, as you can see here, using my finger and just pressing it down, because I will be adding a strip of pink in there. And then just, of course, you want to make sure that they are the same, or the same height, and they're the same size for his head. I did had to cut off a little bit at the bottom, just I wanted to make sure that they were flat. And because they are going on the side of his head, next, as you can see there, I just trimmed it in an angle. And then, of course, where the hat, where earlier that I said that it was going to connect, I made sure that the ear was covering half of that, so it won't look so obvious. And then, of course, I want to give him some rosy cheeks, so I just went in with this old makeup palette that I have, added some pink in there, and then just start using this brush and just brushing it there. Now this fondant mode, I got it from Amazon, and everything that I added or that I use in this video, I will be adding a list in the description box down below. Now this is 24 karat gold paint, and I've noticed that between this one and just this regular gold paint is that this one is a lot brighter, which is why I prefer using it than the other ones that I've used. And of course, here I'm just using some flat beads. And now with this stick right here, it's a lollipop stick that I found, I believe it was at Michael's. I think Hobby Lobby probably carries them too, but I'm not too sure. But if you do not have one of these lollipops, then you can just get a simple plain lollipop. And then here I have some washi tape. And then I just wrapped it, in there. And then grab these little eggs that I believe these came from Hobby Lobby. If not, the Dollar Tree also sells them. And you can just put it on there, and that'll be just as cuter. These washi tapes, I did get them off from Hobby Lobby, and they have glitter in them, so I think they were so cute. And then here is a closer look for you. So what do you think? I totally love this rabbit. He looks so cute, so adorable. I can't wait till I make the next one. And my friends, as you can see, this is the end of the video. Thank you so very much for sticking by. Don't forget to comment, like, and share, and I will see you until the next time. So stay safe, be kind. Bye.